Once I get the intro out of the way, I'll be fine. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna read this. I can't. Hello, one and all. Live from the MOTN in the downtown east side. The park is open. Welcome to Daddyland. I'm your comptroller, Carson. Let's welcome to the stage your mayor, Cooper Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
Is that better than last week?
Surprisingly, yeah, it was a bit better than last week.
Awesome.
Carson's going through it today. He is a bona fide sleepy pee-pee today, because he hasn't slept yet. He went to work last night, and then he got fucked around a bit on his way home. And then I typically wake up like even on weekends, my ass is up at like fucking 5 a.m. just because I get up early during the week. I set my alarm for 6:50 because we're shooting the show at like fucking 8 in the morning today. I opened my phone at like 5 in the morning, and Carson's like, "Hey, when are we going to the podcast?" I'm like, "Have you not slept yet?" He's like, "I'm not even home."
Yeah, so I work at a restaurant, and I get off late because when I close, especially on Saturdays, because we film it on Sunday. So yeah, closed at 2 a.m. and then, you know, because you're in the kitchen, you're hanging out with people. You're usually still hanging around there until like 2:30. And I got to catch a bus to get home, and then, you know, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll either... or what bus I'll catch. Sorry. A lot of thoughts going through my head. I'm sleep BB. Yeah, basically, I don't catch a bus, and I'll walk back home or Uber the rest of the way. And I couldn't get an Uber because it was so late. I got to where I needed to be at like 3:30, and there's usually not a lot of Ubers that time. And it takes a couple tries, but unfortunately, after try number 1, my phone died. So I just kind of parked up at a McDonald's for an hour or two, and then Cooper came and picked me up at 5 a.m., and then we came here.
And this is going to be great because our guest, will be coming on in a bit, is also not a morning person, and Carson he's basically catatonic. But the good thing is, I said this yesterday, I got the sauce, motherfucker. I got the sauce. I got the talkie sauce. It's in me. It's coursing through my veins. I can talk for as long as I want, forever. 10 years I'll be talking. I don't need him anymore. You can go sleep in the corner over there. You're all comfortable on that couch down there. Look how cute.
This is a lot for me right now.
So as I was saying, Golden Age of TV, Severance is one of the best shows I have seen in my life.
Severance is no good.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Severance.
He's crazy.
Severance isn't good as The Office. The Office is better.
Depends on what you're looking for. I
haven't seen it. It's good though.
It's really good.
Everybody that I've like talked to about it has been like, "This is the television show like to end all television shows." Okay.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it's like you watch it and this is crazy.
It's good. Yeah, every episode, like right from the get-go, you're hooked.
Benny Stills.
Yeah, Ben Stiller directs it, and it's fucking incredible. Like it's some of the best directing, like at least in television, I've seen in a long time. Super creative, super creepy, weird. I don't even know what genre to put it because it's kind of like, you know, it's like retro futurism. It's like a scary show at times. It's sometimes really comical, and you just have this amazing cast of characters. Everyone's acting their goddamn asses off. You got fucking.
This episode of Daddyland is sponsored by Severance.
Sponsored by Apple TV Plus.
Yesterday, me and Cooper were telling some people about Severance, and I shouted out into the clouds. I was like, "Give us a sponsorship," because we were sucking Severance's.
I'm probably
so
the
hard.
only person that's advocating for Apple TV Plus. I think. Listen, this is what I'm saying. All right, I think Apple TV Plus has the potential to be fucking great because they only have originals, which means they have to make it good to make it worth, Netflix could probably like fucking make the shittiest season of Stranger Things and people will still fucking fork over money hand and foot for Netflix because they're like, oh,
They're
we love
the first.
Netflix, we love Stranger Things.
That's
But
not
like,
accurate.
why
Netflix
in
is,
a couple?
like, on
Oh,
the
I know it's on the
decline.
climb, but I'm just saying like maybe in its like heyday, like when it started.
I see what you mean.
Like it would have been all right, but the Apple TV Plus is starting off only doing original stuff, which means they kind of have to make them really good, which is why they're forking over money hand over foot to fucking anybody to make like
They're doing
crazy
what
shit.
Netflix was doing in the beginning, which is making really prime original content and using that as kind of their baseline, and that's how Netflix got people in. Remember, like Netflix original content used to be the shit.
It felt like a moment when there was like, this is a new Netflix
Oh
original.
man, and you would watch something just because it was a Netflix original. You'd watch like a movie that would come out and you'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then you'd watch something and be like, holy shit, this is awesome. You guys ever watched The Ritual?
Yep.
Yeah,
Ritual's
remember
great.
that one? I weirdly fuck with that movie. I think that's a great movie. It totally went under the radar. Like super early Netflix original.
Remember the first and third seasons of Daredevil?
Yeah, those are really good.
Ignoring
The first-
season 2.
Actually, you don't like season 2?
This is the second half of season 2.
I don't like the second
Oh
half of
yeah,
season
second
2.
half of season 2 is pretty.
I think first
pretty
half is pretty
mid.
good.
Well, yeah, the Punisher shit's awesome, but then after that it gets pretty.
I don't give a
mid.
fuck about ninjas.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Give me bullets.
Give me
Give me
bullets.
bullets.
Give me John Berthnall snotty
Berthnall?
What?
John Berthnall.
Berthnall? What's his name?
Bernthal.
Oh.
You said Berthnall.
All right. Well, let's get back to the meat and potatoes of what's going
Deepest
on.
apologies.
Yeah, this will be a good. You could start off with my story.
Yeah,
That
this is
might
what
be
we're
a
gonna
good
start
winner.
with. So we got Austin on here because he was gonna come on a couple weeks ago, but he's been going through it recently.
What? I'm kidding.
He
I am?
He been going through it. I know this. I can see his dreams. I look into his dreams at night, and I know he's been going through it. But
You?
Yeah, me.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. I know I wear a scary mask when I go in there, but it's just because
Why do you do that?
I just don't want you to, like I just don't want you to see my face because then you'll come up to me the next day and be like, "Were you in my dreams last night?" And I go like,
that makes sense.
So I got to put on the scary mask. I don't got any other masks.
Does it
That's the
have to
problem.
be scary? Yeah.
I couldn't find my other masks. I'm sorry.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So Austin recently, like couple weeks back, he went on a big old camping trip, and everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So I'll hand it over to you now. Tell us what happened.
All right. So I had been I've been traveling for about a week with 3 of my high school buddies, and Jake actually, the tattoo artist that works out of the space here, and we had been gone for 7 days, and we were up in the Yukon. And the day before everything kind of hit the fan, we had been up in, I'm gonna maybe butcher this, but I think I got it right, Tuktoyaktuk, and it is the furthest place that you could drive north in Canada, to the best of my knowledge. And it is like, you are in the fucking Arctic. That is the Arctic, like that is. You don't get any more Arctic than that, really. Like I didn't know this. I was so dumb. I thought that you could take like a plane to the Arctic. Like I didn't realize that it's like just kind of shared land space. That's the furthest north points for like a whole bunch of different countries. So, but we did get to dip our feet into the Arctic Ocean. So, for some reason, I thought when we had gotten up there, it was really fucking cold. And I was like, I don't really want to camp here. Can we start heading back already today? Like, and we'll just like get further back inland. So everybody's like, okay. And I'm really glad we ended up doing that, because then the next day, right in the morning, on our way back, we're driving, and the roads are all gravel up there, right? Because it's permafrost, so they can't actually have like paved roads. There's a cutoff, like the city, Dawson City, is pretty much the cutoff for where they pave the roads. So then anything after that is all gravel. So we're driving along, and they've got these things, and it'll happen because of like bad irrigation. But they're called like umps, but they're pretty much like reverse speed bumps, where there'll be like a sizable dip that will be like just like a little bump in the road. And there's one of those, and so we hit that in our Armada, and the car went kind of shooting out a little bit off, and so there was like we got like aerial for a second, landed back down. When we landed, we couldn't get traction on the tires, and then there was a turn at the same time, and so we're skidding, and then we have to turn, and so when that happens, then obviously we start to flip, and we flipped. I say 3 times. The boys say they don't know 2 to 3 times, but I think 3 times sounds better, so we'll go with that. And we flipped 3 times upside down into a lake. So
An Arctic lake, may we add.
yeah. So yeah, that was a trip, man. It was fucking crazy.
Because I was talking, we came here for the Morbius show.
Nice.
Um,
Thanks.
And I was talking to Brennan a bunch, which pretty funny, like, because I came in here. I think that was probably my second time meeting Brennan.
God, Cooper loves to
right.
tell this story. He's such an egomaniac.
What?
Okay, well, hey, listen, you pointed out to me, okay? You the one brought it up in the car. We're gonna argue about this later. I pull up and I'm just talking to Brennan. You know, like I'm very sociable. You know,
Yeah.
like I walk in and he and I are shooting the shit. And Carson like came up to me after Brennan like walked off to do some shit, and he's like, "Oh, you and him like really good friends?" And I was like, I think that's the second time I met Brennan.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at talking to people.
Oh, right.
So
yeah,
like I just
you're
walked in
great.
and he and I were just
I don't know,
chatting.
just the vibe I got. I was like, oh, I guess Cooper's known him for a while.
I've followed him on Instagram, and we followed each other. We know who we are.
Yeah, no, he knows who
Yeah.
you are and stuff.
And I know who he is.
Yeah.
That was my second time, I think, actually just talking to him.
Yeah.
But Carson was like, "Have you guys been friends for a while?" I was
That's funny.
like, fucking blood buddy, no.
That's a crazy concept to me. I don't
to-
have that.
To my chagrin, and I can get into that a little bit more later, but I, for some reason, like almost immediately, once we were like up out of the water, and then we found out that there was one of our phones that was working. We only had one phone out of everybody, and it was not the iPhone. It was the one Pixel in the group, and the Pixel was fine.
Hey, Apple, can you sponsor us? We talked about your show, and Austin doesn't like the other company phones, so please.
No, the Pixel was better than the iPhone.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're saying the Pixel
Oh,
survived.
shit.
Pixel was the only one
Austin,
that
I'm gonna be real.
survived.
I'd be awake for 24 hours. So there's gonna be a lot of
No,
social mistakes and technical mistakes,
I
and you're gonna
understand.
have to bear with the comptroller.
Right,
Yeah.
Sleepy pee.
Don't worry.
Very. I'm sorry.
But
Cut that out. Oh, that's me.
cut that.
That's me.
No,
I have to
almost
do it.
immediately though, I start doing promo again for like the show. Like I don't know why. It was really like dumb. I just thought like I don't know. I just thought this would be really funny to start like just like shooting here and then be able to use that for promo later on. So
Certainly a trauma response.
yeah, it was definitely a trauma response.
'Cause,
It
like,
was definitely the wrong move.
When
I
I thought it was funny. But when
It was very funny.
When
No,
I saw it,
yeah.
I thought that you had stumbled upon a crash and were filming at the
Right.
crash.
That's what a lot of people
So
thought.
then when I was like, "Oh, you was in the crash," I was like, "That's so fucking funny." I was like,
Yeah.
"That's so much funnier."
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was hilarious. The problem is that a lot of other people thought the same thing. So then when I say I was in a crash, they're like, "Wait, that was you?" And like that's a lot of people's response. And then also like the people that did know, yeah, I can get into that later on. But yeah, a lot of the people that did know thought that it was like not that big of a deal because I was joking around about it. But of course,
Hey, everyone. That's the
Yeah.
thing is like everyone reacts to trauma differently. I think I'm similar to you. My first thing is comedy or like
Right.
laughing. Like
yeah.
I'm always
I was laughing
yeah.
minutes out from it. I was just like, holy shit, we're all fucking here, guys.
I
Like,
think
this
on
is
the
crazy.
promo end, though, like outside of the joke, it's like you doing promo for it. I think that goes to show how much you like care about this place, because that's a lot of people's trauma response. They dive really deep into the thing that they
Yeah.
like, care most. Like a lot of people, like athletes.
I
whatever,
just
there's-
I just thought that it was like the whole show that whole show is like so much of a meme, and like I love the fucking meme. Like
Yeah.
not just the Morbius meme, but like I love doing shit for the meme. I think that's just like I don't know, such a unique thing that we get in this generation that we can like be a part of that. And I don't know. So yeah, it was it was kind of just like trying to do something that I thought was like funny with a bad situation, and I knew like, hey, fuck it, we've got nothing else to do right now. We're just waiting for, first aid to get here and all that. So yeah, but
because I was saying when I was talking to Brendan when I walked in, like I was telling him like I remember when a couple years ago I got into, it wasn't even like an accident, but like it was winter. And I was working with a couple of my buddies. We were at the shop, which was like way up, like closer to the mountains. So well, it was barely snowing in the town where I lived, but it was snowing the fuck up there. And I didn't have a car at the time, so I was riding with my buddy. And the funny thing was that they both were I think decent drivers, but only one of them had an e-brake in his car, and I was in the car that didn't have an e-brake. But the guy that I was in the car with, I don't think he realized or had ever driven that much in snow before to realize that if he didn't have an e-brake, he couldn't keep up with the guy that did.
Right.
So we're driving and we just fucking start spinning. Right. And we did like multiple fucking spins. Jesus. And then we like went into a ditch, but like luckily like it wasn't like no damages like that were severe. Like the car got pulled out and we just drove home after that.
Yeah.
But I remember as it was happening, as we were spinning, I immediately was just like, well, I'm gonna die, and I was like, well, that's okay. And and when I talked to Brendan, he was like, that's what Austin told me. Like in that moment, as you guys were fucking like flipping, you were just like, well, that's it.
No, the flip wasn't it. It was when the flip I didn't think was gonna be too bad. I was like, okay, we'll get fucked up from this, but like whatever, it's just a flip. Like that's not. We're in a really big truck and stuff too, so whatever, that won't be the big deal. But it was when head hit the water. That was like, and then like the water filled up very, very quickly. And I was like, my hood also went over my eyes. So I thought it was very dark. Like I thought that we had basically, I don't know why, like I should know that that's not really how, and I did know that after a second. But what I thought had happened was like that we had gone into a lake and that it was a very deep lake and that we had already started to go like down in the bottom. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm at the bottom of a lake right now because it's fucking dark as shit and like this is what it would look like. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna die. So that was for about a split second, and then right after that, it was weird. When I was like a kid, probably like 9 till I want to say like 14. I was like I really was into like prepping for the apocalypse. I was like a little kid.
I feel like that's a pretty common 9 to 14-year-old thing.
Yeah, right.
You just like buy a bunch of books and
it was a lot of books, like learning how to start fires, just like general like survival kind of stuff, like learning about what happens when civilization breaks down, all this stuff. But one of the things that I was learning at the time was this what to do in a car accident kind of thing. If you are underwater, how to get yourself out of a situation. So I remembered like everybody's first thing is like, don't freak out. So that was the first thing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just stay very still here for a second so I can just make sure that I'm not like flailing around.
Did you gasp at all when you hit the water? Because like I assume it was obviously cold.
No.
Okay, interesting.
Weirdly, I'm sure it was cold, but like
didn't feel it.
Didn't feel like it even when I went back in to grab more stuff. Like
afterwards, I imagine
probably adrenaline.
So crazy. But I've heard like on a first impact, a lot of people like because that's when you do have a cold shower, you like gasp, and that's what most people drown in. So it's crazy that you didn't have that.
I don't know. I remember though that it was like I had like a half breath, which I usually think is almost worse than having no breath or a full breath. Like I had a half breath, so then I just got rid of it because I operate better under the water if I don't have any, like if I'm just holding my breath rather than like when you like that, I think just like fills your air up with monoxide or whatever. But anyways, yeah. So I was underwater and then I was just like, okay, fuck it. Like I gotta go very still right now. So I go still for a second and I'm like, okay, just get a general sense of, okay, surroundings, we're upside down, I get that. Click the seatbelt, managed to be able to, like, kind of prop my head up, and I get out of the water, like, up and out, but the hood's still over. So at this point, I think that we are underwater, but have you guys ever heard, like, when a car sinks for a little while, there can be, like, a pocket of air, right? Like, that'll kind of still be trapped in it. So even if you're, like, you can be underwater, and people have survived for like days in like boats or in different things with that like little pocket of air.
They did in Pirates of the Caribbean. We saw.
Yes, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of thought was going on. Maybe was that this was like the pocket of air that I've been, you know, told before. So that's what I was like, fuck, okay, like. But then yeah, I was up for a couple seconds there, and then Jake was able to grab my shoulder. He helped kind of yank me out, and then we heard Isaac yelling for help. We opened up the door to get them out, and then Will had been flung out. The guy that was sitting next to me, he'd been flung out of the window, so he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. So wear your fucking seatbelt, fuckers, you know?
Don't drive in the Arctic.
Yeah.
That should be the first fucking lesson.
Yeah. So, yeah, shit was crazy. And then, you know, Will, the guy that got flung out of the window, he was pretty fucked up from it all because he had been flung out of the window. And so he was able to stand and, like, walk up the hill, but he's like, something's fucked up right now. Like, something's no good. And so we had him, like, lie down, but his, like, back was, like, in a lot of pain in his chest and stuff. So it turned out that he had fractured his spine in, like, 2 or 3 different places and then cracked his rib cage. So it was pretty gnarly. But, yeah, we basically waited for a little while for basically they've got these people that are like clearing the sides of the highways. They're trying to bring 5G up north. So they're doing like they're laying like that fiber optics or whatever all along the highway. So it was like one of those guys, and they had an SOS thing because otherwise my first reaction was like, oh fuck, we might be here for like a full day or something. Like it's a like mad barren, like it wouldn't be uncommon for us to go like hours without seeing anybody up there. If not, like after a certain time period, you could go the whole night and be driving for like 6 hours and not see anybody. So
That'd be scary because I would immediately resort to cannibalism.
Right.
Like I think that would be the first thing I go
think
with.
Cooper secretly waits for disaster months so he can do
here's
evil things he's been playing.
You need to go to Dawson City because they've got cannibalism light there.
Oh,
you
that's
get to really kind of push yourself to wherever the line would get crossed, you know, because they've got a severed toe that you drink. It's called the
It has
dead
spatially
toe.
dictated memories.
Shut the fuck up.
An Apple original. There you go. Apple original. No, they've got a fucking cut off toe, and you could take a shot with the cut off toe in the shot glass, and it has to touch your lips, and you touch.
It's the same toe every time.
Yeah, they're not bringing out.
But so how does it?
newbies.
How does it keep?
If you keep something in alcohol, it'll stick around for a while.
How old is it?
Couple years old. So they had one before.
Is it like not a shrunken head, but is it like a shrunken toe?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
okay.
It's all like brown
Yeah.
and like looks like a kind of like a shriveled up potato or something.
Cooper, that's not even eating one. That's just like
Dude, no,
touching
but
it.
here's the
You
thing,
would not
right?
be able to-
That's some crimes from
So
the future.
No, they've got this thing. They've got this thing there where they had to raise the fine on like if you damage the toe because a biker came into town one
Started
time
chewing it.
and he fucking put they had like a $500 fee for if you bite it or if you put it in your mouth or like if you eat it or something like that. So he puts the $500 down, he takes it and he swallows it whole. And so then they're like, fuck, we don't have a toe anymore. But they labeled him the cannibal. So that's his nickname around town is the cannibal. And people like refer to him as we were at like this like summer solstice party and somebody like a local came up and was like, that's the cannibal. And like, we're like, what the fuck? Like that's such a dope nickname to have. Like,
Cooper, did you do the bit for 500?
No, it's not just the bit. It is actively like he was like throwing up because it is a fucking like imagine like trying to like swallow like 4 tater tots.
Cooper, you're allowed to talk. Would you follow through?
Fucking
Oh, yeah, man.
not a fucking pickled toe. I don't like pickles to begin with. You don't want to fucking eat a pickled goddamn toe. I'm only gonna eat fucking human flesh if it's seared over a nice pan, a little olive oil, a little garlic, maybe
not
some
cap.
rosemary.
That I think you're right. That is like a legal way to get pretty close to a dead body and getting that.
If they gave me like a fresher toe, probably, but I don't like pickled
So
shit.
so this is interesting. So part of
If I come
your
into
desire for eating a person
fresh,
is, well, yeah, the freshness, but also like you're coming at it from like a culinary perspective.
I like to eat good. What the fuck?
Right. You like to eat good.
I ain't fucking
Like,
you
savage.
sound like a pussy.
So, but this has less to do with like the thrill of like, eating a man,
Well, I think like for me, the thrill would be almost like in a Hannibal Lecter sense, where I'd eat the person in front of them. Like I'd walk up to them and I'd be like, they'd be like, oh, what's that? Like maybe they've been unconscious for a while after the car crash, and I've set up like a post for eating, and they're like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, buddy, stand up and eat something. And he's like, I can't stand up, and I'm like, that's right. And then I eat his leg in front
Have
of
you
him.
seen The Walking Dead?
Yeah, I know.
So you remember with
tainted meat.
Yeah, Bob
Narrate
tainted meat.
Also, you know how like a lot of people watch like Taxi Driver and Breaking Bad, they think like they don't understand the point of the movie, that they're not supposed to like idealize the main character. It's like
No, they're the good guys.
you know
those guys are the good guys.
You know what I'm getting at though,
Yeah, no,
right?
I know.
Yeah. Cooper's like that with Most Dangerous Game.
Ah, right. I see that for you. I see you being like one of those guys that's like, Manson's music is really good. Like you're like I think that
It is though. Okay, I would say that.
No, I know. It is
It's
really
stupid.
good. No, it is really
He's
good.
evil, but he makes bangers.
Bangers. If that guy just got a label, Manson. I got this book.
Charles
It's
Manson's a cool singer name.
It's got chaos. It's called Chaos. Have you heard about it? Okay, Manson. If you look into that story, sus story, government is definitely behind Manson. What were we gonna say about me again?
All right, what's going on here? Let's get it out.
So we were fucking. He tossed the phone down. He's
I'm
so
mad.
We were. I'll just give a little backstory to how this all kind of started, because it was kind of like the fucking like rock down a hill effect, where I started with one thing and then I just kind of like cascaded into me being more and more mean. But we were driving, and like I was telling him a story, which like in retrospect I think it's really funny, but for his first time hearing it, and like I was telling it as a funny story, but he was like, he took it to heart, because I'll tell the story because I'm not ashamed of it. So a couple years ago, I was fucking like really, really depressed, to the point in this.
That's original.
And it's the only point where I've ever actually considered killing myself. I usually joke about it, but this was the only time where I was actually like, I'm gonna do this. And I had one night I had gone out and I'd driven out with the intent of jumping off of a bridge.
Dope. That's a good way to go.
Yeah, right.
I've thought about it a
That's-
lot. You gotta really fucking figure out what's your mode. I was always thinking the sky train.
See, I've got three. All right, here's my
Yeah.
three: bridge.
Yeah.
Somehow, if I can instigate self-implosion and I explode,
Oh,
or
word.
three, I go to someone's house, someone that maybe has wronged me, and I shoot myself with a shotgun in front of them.
That would be really good.
Just change the course of their life.
Yeah, I've always thought like that would be a really impactful way to go.
I took it a step further, because I was explaining this to someone yesterday. I said, here's what I do actually.
Yeah.
I go up to the front door, I had the shotgun, and I talk to them for a little bit. And I basically go like, listen, like these are some things you did wrong to me in my life. And like, I want you to know that like I have moved past it, but like I have to confront you about it. And like, I want you to, I want to acknowledge it and like come to terms with it. And then I'll forgive
Like,
them.
super healthy way.
And then I'll forgive them. I'll shake their hand, and then I'll kill myself.
Cooper is downright evil. Like
Like they will be so confused because they'll I make amends. Like I
Oh my
shake their
God.
hand, look in their eyes, and I go, I forgive you, and then I kill myself.
Oh my god.
But regardless,
I love that. That's
so-
a great way to go.
So that night, I have the intent of killing myself. I drive to a bridge, with the intent of jumping off of it. But I get to
bad way to go, bro.
I get to I get to the bridge, and the thing that runs through my head is I go, where do I park?
What?
And like, cause I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't want to park on the bridge because people are gonna think I'm an asshole.
Right.
Because then my car's just in the fucking way, or like it might even cause an accident because it's like late at night. People are gonna drive fast and crash into my car.
Yeah.
So like, I just kept driving over and on the other side of the bridge, and I was like, okay, where do I go park? And then when I kind of like figured out where I'd park, I was like, oh, that's such a far walk.
Yeah.
I was like, that's like, I'll be walking
would
for
be a
like,
really
I'll be
far
walking
walk.
for like fucking 40 minutes just
Yeah,
to like get
just
to
to get to the
the
bridge.
right place to jump off.
Right.
So I was like, I'll just go home.
Yeah.
And then I told Carson the story because to me it's a funny story.
I think it's a
that
great
that
story.
I
Yeah,
that
no.
I didn't kill myself because I couldn't find parking.
No, that's hilarious.
And Carson was like, Cooper, I want you to know, like he's like, I love you, man, and like I'm glad that you're here. And
that's sweet.
I was like,
Well, I'm going through something, so I thought I'd extend the love to Cooper. I didn't know, I didn't, like, I knew that he had a punchline in it, but I have friends who they use the punchline as a way
vaguely,
to
yes,
lessen the blow of it. So I didn't know if Cooper was trying to like have just it be a joke or if he was like using it to, so,
No, you're a good friend.
Yeah.
You're like
And
a
then-
healthy person.
and then Cooper was
I
like-
hear that and I'm like, that's hilarious. You should turn that into a script.
so anyways, I told Cooper
I'd be a good
I
friend.
told
I'm
Cooper-
like, you should put that on TikTok. Like, that sounds great.
I told Cooper I love him, and he was immediately, without hesitation, was like, "You're missing the point. I just made a really good joke." And I was
and he was
Fucking
like,
ridiculous,
and he was like, Cooper,
ladies and
he's like, Cooper, I
gentlemen.
want you to know I love you, and I was like, I spit on your love.
Fit on your
You're
love.
taking away from my funny
Spit on your
story.
love. These are. Do you know that these are very impressive mics?
Yeah.
What kind of provoked you to go full throttle? Like, are you? Because you're not like.
Not a wealthy man.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not like coming from.
Well, the nice thing about those mics was I got them off Amazon, and Amazon had a thing where I could pay them off monthly. So
Word.
it was like those are
Shout
like
out to Amazon.
those are like $500, but I was only paying like $100 monthly. So I was like, oh, I can manage this.
Amazon
and I was
Apple
like,
Plus's competitor. Which
Yeah.
one are we? We gotta decide what this podcast
cut that,
is.
cut that.
Cut that.
But I just wanted to like it was a period where like because for me, like right now, like I feel like the show's in a renaissance. We're in a new space. We're recording with video.
Oh,
like
yeah,
we
it
got
is.
a lot of
We're recording video about half the time.
about half the time. We've got like
when the battery's plugged in.
yeah. We
We'll
got
animate the rest.
we'll animate the rest. We got big, but like there's a lot of prospects for the future of this show. But there was a time like kind of like in the first 2 years of doing the show where there were a lot of like periods of lulls where I was unmotivated to do the show. So kind of for me, I was like, I want to get a bit more professional because we were using mics that were breaking every fucking 4 months.
Word.
And like we didn't have good
Hey,
equipment.
you're starting out.
Exactly. We were starting out, and I was like, I want to be a bit more professional because if we have good shit, I'll be motivated to do this shit more. So then I was like, okay, we invested in the sound mixer, which I paid for $700.
Yep. Nice.
And then we bought like these 2 mics, and then we've just been slowly accruing more equipment. You know, more mics like this, more mics like that, like, and it's definitely been like a big motivating factor because those mics sound good. We have good equipment, and it's like, okay, now it's almost not even like, even if the motivation was gone, I'm like locked in where I'm like, I've invested in this shit.
Yeah.
I have to fucking use it.
Keep it. Yeah.
So
Shout
you know.
out to that hustle. Shout out to that grind. You know, that love hearing that. I think it's an interesting idea to be said about like you just hear like putting numbers to equipment, then kind of put into context of like, okay, that is, you know, that's like roughly like 7 Saturdays of not going out in a year. You know, like okay, like I'm not gonna go and get like shittered at the bar and spend $100 throughout the night or something, just like a couple times in the year, and then you're gonna have sound equipment that will last you for like a decade, like, you know, and like be able to like help you progress your career and do what you love to do and all of that. And there's like a valuable lesson
The nice
for listeners on how to spend your money properly.
The nice thing too is
Gary
that
Vee says.
the nice thing too is like I think like in the lead up, like I want to say from January 2022 until we moved into here, that was the largest period to me where I was like, I don't want to do this show anymore. And it was really hard for me to get into doing it because we didn't have a great set and there was always problems with it. And Ryan was like, Ryan was starting to pick up his shit at school, and then also like now he's working a lot, so like I knew he wasn't available as much, and like I hadn't really brought Carson fully into the fold yet. So like there was a lot of factors that like I was working against me, where I was like, I don't want to fucking do this show anymore. I was so unmotivated. Like I felt anytime that like it was coming up that I should have done it, I was like, whatever. And and like I felt really sad and upset, because I was just like, I'd worked on this thing like fucking like I take it real easy now. Like I kind of put a lot of the burden on Carson. But like for the first 2 years of the show, it was all me. I did all the editing. I put it out myself, and then I paid for all the equipment. I did all the recording.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was at my wit's end. I was like, I can't sustain this anymore. So then when we kind of shifted focus, and like then we were like, okay, we're gonna move in here. We're gonna be recording a video. Carson's gonna help me out by controlling and editing, and he's fantastic. He's a great. He's made my life so much easier, and he's like a really. Is this what you want?
This what you want? Is this what you want?
There was a moment that I was talking where I was like, I'm being too nice to him.
I think he's hard right now.
I was just thinking to myself, I was like, you can't say all that nice stuff with how much the camera was giving us issues this episode.
Well, that's like my brain, like as I was saying that, I was like, I'm being too nice to him. But no, Carson is so useful. Like I'll break character. Carson's is probably he's one of my best friends right now.
Yeah,
for the moment at least.
We'll see after this episode how good it comes out.
We'll see how the conversation on the ride home from this episode goes. But he's so useful. He's been like, I don't think at this point I couldn't do the show without him. Which is why when he's gone for 4 months in the new year, it's gonna be a real struggle for me to. But I'll pull through. Okay, I'll read the alien one. This one. I think this one's fun because I also do a voice here. Fade in. Exterior space. Night. We open in the deep, dark fuck, I'm already fucking it up.
Yikes.
Here we go again, sorry. We open in the deep, dark vastness of space. Glimmers of long-lost stars twinkle and shine from far corners of the galaxy. With great speed, an object flies into view and past us. We follow it as it enters the Milky Way system. A voice rings out among the cosmos. They came from the stars, beyond the scope of what we could see. We take into full view a silver flying saucer, moving with incredible speed through our solar system. Fleeing from a broken world, they found themselves taking solace in the Milky Way galaxy. With resources depleted from travel, they were in dire need of a place to rest and regroup. Cut to interior saucer cockpit night. Inside the cockpit, 2 gray aliens, short with large heads, battle with the controls of the ship as their systems begin failing. A crash was imminent. They knew this very well. So the question would be, where? The 2 aliens look at one another. Ahead of them on a monitor, 2 options are presented. They could have crashed onto Mars, which, unbeknownst to them, held essential materials just beneath its surface that would have matched the compounds needed for their interstellar travels. One of the aliens points towards Mars. However, the other considers option 2. On the other hand, Earth presented itself as a promising prospect for landing, compatible air, teeming with life, and as the other alien, let's call him Left Alien for now, pointed out, he had never tried water before and was curious what it tasted like. Without audibly saying a word, the 2 appear to bicker in the cockpit. Their communications, advanced by millennia of scientific progress, had come to a point where words were simply transmitted through their very thoughts. We listen in on them now. Right alien. Are you fucking kidding me? Water? Mars has plenty of water. Left alien folds his arm in protest. Dirty water. Dirty old gross water. With time running out, a decision had to be made. Right alien knew that the red planet would likely work out far better for them in the long run, but despite his better judgment, he knew he owed Left alien for that favor back in Messier 82. Right alien lets out the closest equivalent for a species that's air intake differs severely compared to a human's, sigh. He engages a course to crash on Earth. Right alien takes notice of Left alien's joy at their impending Earth visit, and reminds himself that sometimes you need to enjoy the little things. The ship slows as it crests Earth's atmosphere and quickly makes headway towards the ground, with impact impending over North America. How fortunate the aliens were to find themselves bound to impact in the United States, its main language, English, being the closest to the old spoken word of alien history, also called English, but that's just pure coincidence. The two aliens look at one another and smile. How unfortunate, however, would it be their ship was destined to break ground in what is known as the Bible Belt of the United States. The two brace for impact as they quickly approach a large fenced field, a house looming in the distance. Cut to, exterior, farm field night. Fire and dirt kick up in the air as their ship explodes into pieces. From the burning wreck, the two aliens, scuffed up, yet largely unharmed, crawl from the destroyed saucer. Left alien turns to his friend. Did you know we were fireproof? Right alien. No clue. I never would have thought. The two turn back to look at the remains. What a crap ship. Left alien. I heard they haven't changed the material since the 1947 crash. All that time spent on the investigation, no changes. Right alien. Well, that's all in the past now. Let's hope this planet is more tolerant and willing to change when they're wrong. That's all I have so far.
Nice. Nice.
Like I said, it's not a complete story because oh, wait, there's one more line. Sorry. Oh, because I like this joke. As the two aliens watch on at the flaming FO, a handful of men, armed to the teeth and in nothing but their bedwear, raced out towards the commotion in the field. And that's where I left off. I like the word. I like calling it an FO because they fly it. They know what it is. It's not unidentified.
That's good.
So I'll probably start routinely reading scripts on this show, just to prove that I'm a capable person of being creative.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
So what do we have for time, boss?
125.
Nice. That's pretty good, actually. I mean, a lot of that's going to be cut because, I mean, I'm not going to say who fucked up.
It was me. I'm tired. I haven't slept in 24 hours. The camera battery's fucking up. It's on me. It's okay.
It's okay. I forgive you.
If there's a moment to be mean to me, it'd be right now. This time
Rome wasn't built in a day. No, I forgive you for the things you can't control.
Why are you nice to me when I actually fuck up and then mean to me when I'm just sitting there minding my goddamn business? I can't. That's what pisses me off is because I can't see it coming. I'm like, oh, I did something wrong. Maybe Kuba will actually get mad, and then it doesn't, and then I'll just be sitting there eating a sandwich, and he'll walk in and kick me in the teeth and push me on the ground and spray me with the hose and pour ants all over me, and then just call me names, and I'll have to just take it because I'm a nice person. I've decided I don't want to be like Anakin Skywalker. I don't want to let the hate.
Fictional character. You don't want to be a fictional character. Bring the show back. Always do. Hey,
Goodbye.
Hey.